This week, Pima County Schools Superintendent Dustin Williams swore in the newest member of TUSD's governing board. Bruce Burke was one of 15 applicants to come forward after Mark Stegeman announced his resignation early last month. The retired attorney will fill the rest of Stegeman's term through the end of 2020. We discussed how he plans to approach the job. Bruce Burke may be TUSD's newest board member, but he isn't new to the job. Burke previously served from 2003 to 2010 and was first elected the same year as current board president Adelita Grijalva.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
Burke says since leaving the board nearly 10 years ago, he's stayed active in the community and remains passionate about education.
So when this opportunity arose, it seemed like a natural fit. I can come back to the board, serve 13 months, not going to run. So it gives me a lot of freedom and an opportunity.
Now, when you came on originally in 2003, you came on with current board chair, board president, Adelita Grijalva. What does and you worked with her for 7 years, what does that relationship mean as you come back this time?
Well, I think it's important to have good relations with other board members. And going beyond Adelita Grijalva, I do know 3 of the other board members fairly well, or 2, and I just spent the morning with Rachel Sedgwick. So I think personal relations are the foundation for good boardsmanship, and I'm looking forward to serving again with all of them.
What makes a good, successful, effective board?
Well, I think that first of all you have to appreciate that you're just one of 5. You cannot lead alone. The superintendent really is in charge of administration, but you're on the board to set policy along with your colleagues. So you need to listen to the community, take that into account, and then with the assistance of the superintendent and staff, come up with good, sound policies, hopefully by consensus. I think any consensus-driven policy decisions are the best. Defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
After Burke was first sworn in 16 years ago, he shared a similar opinion about the importance of achieving unanimity on the board.
There are going to be fights and there are going to be issues that come to the board, but I think that everyone will be respectful of our differences and try to work to consensus where we can find it.
What is the value that you bring to this board?
I would cite 2 things. First, it's my prior experience. I don't profess to know everything there is to know about current issues, but I have a general understanding of a district. I've worked as a board member for 8 years, served as president. So that's one quality that I bring. And the second is, as an attorney, I was a problem solver. I did litigation, but I also know how to resolve things amicably, and my hope is to bring those skills to the board and work with others on the board to get good results for our students.
What do you think are the top priorities facing both the board and the district, TUSD in general?
Well, let me start with what I think faces the state as the biggest issue, and that is underfunded public education. That's a legislative responsibility. I know that the public supports more funding for public education, and I think our legislators need to hear that. Because we're underfunded, every decision by the school board has to be really focused on trying to make sure that the dollars are getting into the classroom as much as possible. That's the challenge that we face.
Can these challenges that you're facing at TUSD, can they be met by sort of steady incremental change, or do you need something more fundamental, more urgent?
You know, that's a good question. My sense is that this is a big ship and it takes a while to turn. I think that the progress is being made, so I'm not sure it's right to characterize it as either radical change or incremental change, but it's important to focus on the fact that we need change. And how we get there, I think, is one of the skills that the board has to acquire and work on and work with the superintendent to accomplish.
Now, as you said, you're not interested in running again. This time next year, there'll be an election for not just the seat that you're filling for Mark Stegeman, but 2 other seats as well. So pretty much you have a year here to get traction. Is that enough time, and how do you prioritize what gets done?
Well, it is a short term, but I'm really in a position not to have to worry about being reelected. I did that twice, or at least I had to be elected twice, and that's a challenge that you have to spend time doing that. So I'll be able to devote my full energy to my board membership and working with the superintendent I think it's a plus for me, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Tell me an issue that perhaps is significant or dear to your heart.
You know, there are several, and I've kind of mentioned those. Let me mention one other, and that is my concern is that we find an honorable way to resolve the long-standing DSEG case that this district has operated under court supervision for over 40 years. I think we can bring that to a conclusion. I think it's time to do that and to do it honorably with some goals to be set. I appreciate that the district has work to do in that area. I intend to help with that, but I do think it's time to bring that case to a closure within the next year or two.
Bruce Burke, thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.